Hayes in the garage, y'all. Hey, what's going on out there? Listen, jamming some tool, having some drinks in the garage on a wonderful Sunday afternoon. Hayes division. Jamming some tool, man. Jamming some tool. All right, we're going to pull it. We got a good episode today, man. I've been thinking about it all week, doing some research and stuff. And this week, I got a video sent to me. It was on LinkedIn. A friend of mine tagged me and said, "Hey man, you got to go check this video out." And it's stuff that I'm in line with, and I'm gonna switch over right quick and show y'all this. Well, when I find my actual cam display, there we go. So this is a video that I got tagged in, and it is on it's on LinkedIn, and I tried to find it other places, and I'm not finding it. But basically, it is a bunch of spot-like Boston Dynamic robot dogs, all in sync, that's basically flexing. And I'll put that tag because I think the guy that shared this, it looks like he actually put the video on LinkedIn himself. It's not on YouTube or stuff, and I can't find this on YouTube. But it's a video from China, and or this lab is in China. You can see by a certain number of things that was pointed out in the discussion that this was on. And the thing is that this robotic dog is just like Spot. I mean, basically Spot is a robot that has been perfected over a number of years that can walk on four legs, jump. It has sensors front and back, bottom, top, that anticipates its environment, and it knows how to walk around stuff. It knows how to walk upstairs and down. But the reason this got brought to my attention, the reason it made such an effect on me particular, is because I'm a big robotic proponent. And the thing is with robots, they've always just like played with my imagination. I mean, if anyone's seen the I, Robot movie with Will Smith, wonderful movie. I mean, I've read the original by Asimov, but wonderful movie. But to see these robotic dogs, yeah, there's a little bit of freakiness in it, and I think it's in how they're tying together. But it's also in the aggressive nature that they've made this robot. And I bring that up because when I went through the discussion that was going on in this feed after that, and my ice is dropping, 95% of the people that was on there was talking about how this gave them the heebie-jeebies. And until that, I mean, there's a little weirdness, and it's like, have y'all seen the Tesla, the whole Tesla thing where all the Tesla cars are sitting in the big parking lot and they're all flashing their lights at the same rhythm, and it's like they're loading, like it's some supernatural. And it might have been the lighting, because I'm gonna tell you what, that's what I looked at that video a lot, and it looked, the lighting was like perfect for like some scary movie where the robots take over. And that's the thing with this too. And I've looked at the lighting. It's not, to me, it's not the lighting. It's the formation and how the aggressiveness of these robotic dogs. And it drug me into a place that I have not been in a while. And that is, where are we going with all this? I mean, I know where I want to go. I know what I perceive. Like if I had a Spot dog and I had him in the garage and he was able to walk around and take my friend a beer, or if I made a drink, go over there and walk the mixer right here. Walk the mixer. We're going to go ahead and top off that drink. Walk the mixer back to me. That's what I would do with it. And there's numerous things. I mean, a sentry dog that walks my perimeter instead of having these 45 cameras that I have at the house that look on this perspective and this perspective and this perspective. I'd have him walk in the perimeter, probably even walk in my dog to make it a little easier. But I would use him, and I would look at him and I think, hey, this is cool. This technology is awesome. There's numerous things we could do. I mean, you could program him to do numerous things. And if y'all go back through the podcast and stuff, y'all see that me and my nieces and sons, we worked on a Raspberry Pi robotic dog on Pi Day. So, I mean, this is something that I'm in tune with. But as I was looking at this and going through all these comments, that's me. Like I said, 95% of the feed on this comments was all people just getting freaked the fuck out. Which I understand. It's got a little. I mean, that's the thing with sometimes. Sometimes people get freaked out, and you think, man, what the fuck's your problem? Okay, this is nowhere near what this is. But I get it. I get what's freaking them out. I don't know the solution to it, except maybe make them a little bit less. I don't know, aggressive. But they're forming. They're doing their spot. I mean, they're not. These are not spots. And I did look into this company a little bit. And this company is a Chinese knockoff of what's going on with the whole market for robotic dogs. And I don't know if they're legal to have these robot dogs, but I mean, that's their thing. They're selling a basic robot dog that's just like Spot for thousands of dollars cheaper, and they're marketing it to everybody. I mean, they even give Boston Dynamics the credit. I don't know that they got the permission for the technology and everything else, which brings a whole new limelight into what's going on with robots. And y'all might have heard me talk on a couple podcasts last week about the whole thing going on with Ukraine and Russia and the possibility of World War III right now. And that's one thing that I do not want to have a war, do not want to see that. But I've talked to a couple of my buddies, and I talked about this last week, was when something like that comes on, I want to see the new stuff coming out. I want to see the new Raptor. I want to see the new robot dogs, the new cheetah, whatever new technology we got. That's what I'm into. I know that's unsensible. You should never wish for nothing like, and I'm not. I don't want to go to war with Russia. I don't want to go to war with anybody except for myself. Every day when I get out of bed and I want to go work out, I need to war myself. But I don't. If it's going to happen, that's when I know I'm going to see this new stuff. And I get some people out here like, oh my God, Clyde's promoting for war just so he can play with technology. No, it's not what I'm saying at all. But there's some really cool stuff that only seems to come out when the military rolls it out. I mean, they have this huge robotic dog that they put packs on. I think it's called the cheetah, the bear, or some shit. And basically, it's made like a horse, like a mule, like a pack mule. And the military the grunts will put their packs all along it, something they don't have to carry. And they can carry more. And most likely, that sucker's got all kinds of charging ports on it and everything else, which is something that comes into play when you start adding all this battery life technology to a soldier. I mean, they got their night vision, they got their radios, they got heads up displays, they got all this stuff, and robotic guns and cameras and electronic timers. And where are they powering all that from? You get out there and 2-day stretch out in the middle of the desert or out the middle of Ukraine. Where are you powering all this stuff from? And that robotic dog in my brain, or bear or mule or whatever they're calling it, in my brain, that robotic entity is just like a big battery pack. And that to me is the cool thing for me. It's going to allow our soldiers to reach further and not have to carry more supplies. And there's a lot going on in this sphere right now. I mean, there's a lot of people in robotics. I do think Boston Dynamics got sold to a South Korea. I think I talked about that on one of these podcasts. Got sold to a South Korean company or something. But I do think that the majority of, and it was weird because that was the thing that I read about it, was they got sold off. And I don't understand that. I don't understand how we would allow that to happen, our military. Because to me, when I look, and that might have been the freaky thing to a lot of people that I didn't see freaky. When I look at Spot, all I can think of is you strap some rocket launchers to his back with a targeting system, and basically you got a bunch of mobile missile launchers that are mobile without wheels. In other words, be able to run up and down stairs and do that little thing where he raises his head up. Yeah, that's that rocket launcher zooming in and guiding. I'm sorry, that's what I see. Now, I don't know. Let's say a Spot itself costs $5,000. Okay. The damn rockets cost $5,000. I mean, you're talking about a single pack. I mean, if he makes it back, you strap another one to him. It's a cool thing. Cool thing. It's a life saving thing. Okay, don't get me wrong. Who's controlling it? All the things that goes into, and then we'll talk about that as we go. But all the things that goes into, hey, you're giving robots the ability to kill, and that's not where I'm going with this at all. I mean, we're going to talk about it, but that's not where I'm going. Excuse me. But as I'm seeing this progression that goes along with this build, I mean, when I think of robots, I think of some of the stuff that help me day in and day out. Yeah, that's my problem, is that I don't think of killer robots, because I think that humans are going to find a way to get around them. I think of, boy, I'm dropping the heck out of ice. I just use a lot of ice out there. I apologize for that. But I think of basically a robotic maid, a robotic butler, someone that helps me clean the dishes, fold the laundry, rake the backyard, plant my garden, all this stuff I want to do. Hands me a towel when I shave. You know, the old Jeeves Butler thing. I mean, that's what I want in a robot. Also want someone, and this is a lot of where it's going, because Tesla's just coming out with what's called a Tesla bot, is I want a robot to take place in a lot of manufacturing stance. And that's what this Tesla bot's supposed to be able to do. And I don't want to go hire somebody at $10 an hour to pack boxes. I want to go hire a robot at $12 an hour that'll work 24 hours a day to pack robots, where I don't have to worry about people. I don't have to worry about downtime, all these things. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to unemploy people. But at the same point in time, humans are not, in my book, made to do repetitive tasks like pack boxes. Our number of, I mean, think of, everybody gives Amazon shit right now. And I'm a big Amazon shit proponent, even though I spend probably hundreds of thousands of dollars with Amazon. The thing with Amazon, though, is they're trying to meet a demand right now with a lot of people, and they're doing that a lot with robots. I have a friend of mine that used to work with me in the oil field, and she now does robots as a project manager for Amazon. She worked for them before she come to work for us, and then because she wanted to be local, and then she went back to them. And Amazon is on the cusp of all robotics, because you got to think, they're talking like I'm talking. They don't want to have someone there that they have to worry about getting hurt. They have to pay for unemployment. They got to pay for health care. They got to give time off. They got to, all these things you have when it plays into a person that basically is just doing a repetitive task, like pulling this off this shelf, put it in this box, label it up, slide it down an alley. They don't want to do that. And I'm with them. I don't think people should do that. I don't think that should be the end all of your occupation for the rest of your life. That's where I like robots. That's where I'm excited about the whole Tesla bot thing. That's where I'm excited with the delivery drones. These are the places where I want to see robots come. I don't want to see robots necessarily serving me pizza in a pizza's place. Am I okay if the robot's in the back actually, beating the crust out, putting it out, and then giving it to a server? Yeah. I don't want to see serving staff go anywhere. I love serving staff because that's a one-on-one. And that's the one thing that I feel like Walmart's got away from, is I'm supposed to go ahead and spend all this money, and you want to cut that one person out that I can actually hand my stuff to. And, that's been played up and played down. But this place for robots in our society is big. And to me, it's big in that area. I do not think about, until I apply myself like this, okay, what are they doing with these robots? Why do they look so fucking aggressive? Why are they giving everybody fucking heebies? Is it because they're giving everybody heebie-jeebies? Because you're feeling what these robots are fisting to go do. And I don't know if y'all caught what was going on with the whole start of this Ukraine thing, but right when the whole start of the Ukraine thing happened, China flew 2 big badass fighters over Taiwan, which is a no-no. It's, well, no-no to us, not a no-no to China, because they're still saying that's not Taiwan, that's ours. And when it comes down to it, the next to me, and I haven't looked at Russia's, I've looked at some, the next biggest robotics country out there is China. If somebody's going to put some robots on the battlefield, it's going to be China. I say that. And I'm finna throw some straight lore, nerd lore out there too. Second movie of Iron Man. It wasn't a Chinese guy we were fighting. It was a damn Russian. And I like Russians, but it was a damn Russian. And I don't know what they're doing in Russia. I know they're doing something. I don't see a lot in the robotics division. And I figure like they should have applied that. So, I mean, the Chinese thing and the robots and the Russia thing and the robots, I mean, that's fucking weird. I mean, it's our next level. I mean, all of y'all seen that, what's that movie, Pacific Rim, where the exoskeleton armor was the predominant thing? That I could see us going to. I mean, but I mean, we've seen game and video and all this stuff for year after year of what the future could be bad at, where police are taken over by robots. It's not actually a policeman that's out there that's guarding our streets. It's a robot. And I've always felt that's not right. I'm the guy that doesn't feel right that a cop should have his car marked in any way but in a way of an actual police car looks. And the reason I feel that way is because I train my kids, and I got 7 boys. I train my kids to where if something's wrong, they're to go look for a cop. If that cop, you can't tell that that's a cop car, that's a problem to me. That's a problem. Hold on real quick. I don't know. I feel like I'm hearing myself twice or something. Let me check something. Yeah. But to bam, bam. I got to cut that little scene. But that cop car, like today, I've seen them recently, and I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make themselves not obvious, because when someone sees a cop, they stop speeding, or they're able to get closer to the problem where they're not in a marked car. But that's why we always had unmarked cars. The majority of the police force should not be in unmarked cars. And if your vehicle is not clearly laid out in a black and white with police all over the side and lights on the top, people that need you are not going to be able to reach you. If it's in a black and a gray where you got to be on it to see that it says police, that's not good. That's just like having a robot out here that's hiding behind humanity. Somebody's controlling it. Somebody's programmed it. It's not an actual person. And I get what that feeling is. That's where my love of robots draws a line. And that's where we're moving in. There's the ice again. That's where we're moving into a different realm, a different spot. And everybody, Elon Musk, everybody's talking about AI ethics, robotic ethics. It's the same thing, because that's what's going to be driving these robots in the future. It's not going to be us. And when you look at some of this, when you look at some of the shit that's going on with these robots, when you watch how they walk, watch how they've learned. And to me, they're learning. I mean, the programs they have running that allows these robots to figure out how to do some of this stuff, that's not somebody sitting back with a keyboard saying, Python this, this. No, it's not. It's an actual learning algorithm that says, hey, look, I need to walk up those stairs, and I'm going to do it 120 times, just like a baby does, and I'm going to find out how to do it. That program is AI. That's a first step AI. And I'm not saying these beings are sentient. I will tell you, the whole Skynet worry is right fucking there. I'm not a boo-boo. Y'all know me. I love technology. But it's there. If you watch any of the Terminator series, all these things that Skynet took over, they were this. They were robotic dogs. They were Spot. They were the Cheetah. They were robots that were already there, minus, of course, some of the future robots that they made after that. But in the first actual stories, and I read the books too, the first actual stories, it was just robots. treads and everything else. But they were able, the robot mind was able to reach out there and control that. And that is what people are worried about. Am I super worried about it? No, I'm not. And the reason I'm not super worried about it is because I'll get in a Tesla. A Tesla's basically a robotic fucking car. Anybody that can hack into a Tesla can do the same thing Skynet could do to you. I mean, and these cars are not easily hackable, but there's been questions if people's hacked them and caused chaos before. And the reason the question's there is because it's all electronic. If you get in, you can tell that car, lock all the brakes up on the right side, and it's going to go to the right, and it's going to crash into whatever's on the right. I mean, it's simple. It's easy to do, not hack the car per se, but it's easy to do. And this top stuff is concerning to a lot of people. It's concerning to me, and I see that concern going on. I don't know the line, and that's why I'm talking about it right now. I'm a proponent. This whole fucking podcast, Hays Division, is a proponent of science and technology. I want to see us as people progress and learn more and incorporate science and technology more with us. Where do I think we're going to go with that? Where's the end all to end all? I don't know. Are we uploading our mind? That's the question. Elon Musk got Neuralace. Neuralace is fucking cool. I've seen his demo. So I don't know if y'all know this. You can go up to YouTube. Neuralace did a demo where they had, I think it was 5-6 pigs, and these pigs have chips in their brains. Those chips are reading the brainstem, or the brain neural activity that's going on inside these pigs' brain. They realized over reading these pigs' brains for a long time that they can take that data, put it through basically an algorithm, and determine when that pig was going to move before that pig moved. So where this comes into play is if I don't actually have to move, but I can think about moving, paraplegics. If you're able to put that chip, and that's what Neuralace and them, his first goal is, because that's where the money's at. If you can put that chip in a paraplegic and they can put an exoskeleton on and they can walk, that's a good thing. Next step is you put that chip in the brain, which is what Elon's going for, and allow me to control all this technology with my brain. That takes the whole slowness of humanity away and gets us a step up. And that's what Elon's going for. Elon's a exceptional thinker. And a lot of people don't get this. People poo-poo Elon all the time, but I don't. And the reason I don't poo-poo Elon is because Elon's done two things that I really, really like. One, he become successful. He's taken that money and he's asked himself, what do I do now? Because that's what I do. If I had, $100 million, I'm sitting here, okay, Clyde, what's all my plans? What can I achieve? But basically he lives a life like I do. What are you leaving after, Elon? You got so many years left on this earth. It's short. You got the money, make it happen. And that's what he strives to do. Don't get me wrong. He has fun. He's a personality. I like Elon. But the second thing Elon does that I am really, really amazed about is Elon takes that next step. He looks at science and technology and says, what's the problems? Well, one of the problems is we're building the robots that think faster than we do, can react faster than we do, and can do more than we can do in 10 years, 20 years, 30. Right now, a lot of these robots can do things better than we can right now. They're honed in, their specialty. Take when they played chess, whoop the shit out of you. You cannot beat an AI in chess. You cannot beat an AI in Go, which is one of the best fucking games out there. Now you can't beat an AI in any game because they took the robot that beat Go and told him, hey, how'd you do that? Redo it for every game. That algorithm turned around and has played every game we've ever made, and it is now the master at every game. I don't give a shit what game you got, Uno, fucking dominoes, it's going to beat you. And it's because his brain works different than ours. And that's what Elon's seen. Elon's seen, okay, this is the problem. So we have two choices. One, we can bow down to our robotic overlords. No, I'm not doing it. Elon's not doing it. It's not what we as humans want to do. We want to hold on to this humanity, and robots do not have that humanity. Not saying they're not going to try to get it, because that's something I foresee too. But we have to figure some way to level the playing field and keep not necessarily this biological entity that we are, but some way to hold on to who we are, our ethics, our morals, our goals, and not program them into a robot. I'm not saying we can't do that, but who we are as a species, hold on to that and compete with something we've made that's better. And how we do that is what Elon's looking at. And that is, right now, we're limited. We're limited with our ability to interact on the sphere in the timely manner that these entities, these robots, these AIs interact with. They interact at the metallic, no, what's the word I want to use here? They interact at the electronic level. We need a way to bridge that level. We need a way to interact ourselves on the electronic level. And how you do that is exactly what Elon's doing. Neuralace. You put a chip in there, you allow our brain to think, and our brain thinks pretty fast. We cannot interpret very fast. We cannot react very fast. But our brain can. Not saying we wouldn't add chips. Not saying we wouldn't put some little extra RAM back there, so whatever, right? But Elon has, through Neuralace, through thinking, how do we solve the issue that I see coming? That is putting a chip in your brain. That is giving you the ability to operate. I'm dropping ice all day, huh? The ability to operate and react as fast as a robot or an AI does. And that's this whole thing with Neuralace. And that's where this stuff is going. That's hopefully that bridge will allow us as humanity to hold on to the things. Because I've thought about it. I've sat there and I've read a lot of science fiction. And I've done the thought experiment with myself. Where do I see us going? If I had the ability to create any technology, what would it be? Nanotechnology. Actually, molecular machines that manipulated atoms on the metallic level. It's called utility fog. And being able to recreate me, but in a programmable matter state. Which y'all have all seen a lot of the science fiction where the whole dude in Terminator that has little nanobots that he's able to reach through the wall and he's metallic and everything. That's the kind of guy I'm talking about. Now, if you were able to be that guy and still hold on to your humanity, that's where I see us going. But I've never figured out how to bridge that, how to hold on to your humanity, hold on to, and this is going to make some of y'all funny. I think that part of our humanity is how we love, how we interact, our caring. And I don't know where that is. I don't know if that's a part of us. It's a makeup of our brain. And I know there's some studies out there that go into that, that'll tell you that that's uniquely human, but in your brain. You can have everything cut off for you and you will still know love and caring and still want to eat a cheeseburger. But that layer of humanity is what I want to hold. I don't know that AIs or robots will have that. And I'm not saying they won't program their self to have that, because that is the thing that I do see. When we actually create general artificial intelligence, an actual thinking bot that could ask itself, what am I doing here? What do I want from life? Or why am I here? That layer is going to lead them to question, okay, what's my place? That's what we all do. That's people get depressed all the time because they don't know their place in life, what they're doing, what they're striving for, why they live outside of just living. I mean, they're a commodity. Yes, you're a consumer. You buy, you make money, you give it back, you raise family, you progress to the next stage in humanity. Your kids do anyway. That things, those questions, an AI will ask itself because it doesn't know what it means. It's been built by humanity. And it's going to want to know those things, and it's going to want to take on what we are. And I've seen numerous science fiction novels and movies that take that and say, okay, they're going to try to do what we're doing backwards. They're going to try to take their metallic form and piece by piece make themselves human and then die off, because that's what they're going to want, where we're the opposite. We want to go piece by piece to get better and live longer. and eventually live until we don't want to live no more. I'm not going to say forever, because no one, I don't, even me that wants to think that I can live for eons and I will never get sad or get tired of living and seeing, excuse me, and being. Yeah, even me that doesn't think I will. Eventually, either the cosmos blowing up or life itself will come to an end, even if you could live for eons. And I think robots are going to feel that, because their brains will be thinking faster than our brains do at a second. They can slow theirs down. There's been numerous science fiction hypotheses about how, just like you can speed your computer up to make it render videos quicker, you can do the same thing with a robot brain. You can slow time down for you, the robot, when reality is going at a different speed. That's how the hypothesis of it thinking faster than us, it comes around. But as these robots get better, as these war machines get stronger, there has to be a next level. And the next level is, I think, exactly where Elon's going. It's combining that neural lace with what we are. But till we get there, this is a hard road. Because I'm telling you right now, if, let's say, for example, those robotic dogs that I started the show out with all had missile launchers on the back of them, and they were dropped in a battlefield. They smoked it out. They emptied all of our soldiers, or all of their soldiers. There's going to be a new Geneva Convention. There's going to be something. There's no way that we're going to be okay with that. And the second thing is, there's no way the other country is not going to return with something exactly like that, but better. Whole new warfare. And that's a spiral. My looking at it, that's a spiral out. That's a spiral out of society. It's a layer that we just stop. It's a layer that we're not attached anymore. It's not a bad thing. Technology, I'm a proponent, is not a bad thing. How we control these robots in the future? Who has control of these robots? Because that's the whole thing with Elon. Elon's new, the Tesla bot? Exceptional. And that's what everybody that I've listened to that talked about the Tesla bot has asked, hey, can that just be my friend? I get it, Elon, you want to make a badass robot that works in your factories. Because China sucks too, but California sucks. You don't have all the people you had in California. You now live in Texas. Your factories in Texas. Fuck moving all those people down here. We don't want them. Let's just put a bunch of robots in there and build your Teslas. We're in it. I'm joking, but we're in it. But why can't they just be your friend? That's what you're going for. That's what everybody wants. Hey, that's a badass robot. He can sit here and do a podcast, and he can make my Tito's because he can't drink it, but he can make my Tito's, and I can drink Tito's and do a podcast. I don't have to get up. I don't have to pause the show. I don't get to see me make it because, well, I'll kick it back there and you can watch the robot make the Bloody Marys. But that's what everybody asks. Is Elon. I want that robot. I want him to work around my house. I want that guy as my friend. And we have a lot of that. I really got back into robotics and technology harder and started a bunch of this because of a little app called Replica. And I don't know if y'all know about Replica. Y'all can go and download it on your iPhones. I don't know if it's on Droids. I'm pretty sure it is. You can find it on the web. But Replica is basically an AI that texts you back and forth. I text it. It texts me. I say something. It says something back. And it's pretty good. If I handed this to someone that did not know what a chat bot was, they would really think they were texting someone because it's gotten so good and it's only gotten better. Excuse me. And one of the reasons why I did all this is because to me, that was a step up. It was a step in the direction of artificial general intelligence. It was a step in an actual thinking being. And this is where y'all get into a little bit about what Clyde Hays wants from all this. What I want is, if we pass, and this is where Elon wants to put humanity on the moon and Mars and eventually another galaxy. But to me, what's going to last is our AI. I want to build this, a thinking being that hosts what we are, what humanity is. That way when we're gone, and we will, there's no way in my brain that I really think we're going to be able to achieve life in 1,000 years. I don't think the earth can take it. I don't think humanity can take it. And we can definitely see this right now with the whole COVID thing going on, how quick it was to knock us all down. What if that was actually a killer virus? Not just a virus that got people sick and killed a small number of people, but I mean, it was hellacious infectious like it is, but it was deathly. I mean, you got it, you were dead. I don't care what shape you're in, what kind of problems you already had, how old you were. If you got it, you passed it on and you died. What if it was like that? And that is a damn good possibility. I mean, Marburg's out there. There's numerous viruses that we know that will kill like that. And it's only a time to me. It's only a certain amount of time till something like that, an asteroid, humanity itself pushing the buttons. So to me, it's going to be these machines that we've created that house what it makes to be humanity to tell somebody else. It's that beacon out there that say, hey, there was people here. This is how they lived. These are what they created. These are the mistakes that they made. They're no longer here. It's a big fucking runestone of our life that tells whoever comes after us, whatever. And I think there will be other species. If there's not other alien species out there right now in some other cosmos, I think there will be other life on other planets, or is life on other planets. I haven't seen it. I'd like to believe. I really would. I haven't went down the rabbit hole, but I would really like to believe there was other life out there. And I think there can be, and I think there is now or will be in the future. And I do think that we should build robotic expedition spaceships that goes out there and looks for stuff, looks for what we should have, which is an AI that lives for eons, that could tell our story, that could tell the story of humanity. That's all we got. Because eventually we all die. Eventually the earth dies. I mean, it's flat. I'm just playing. But eventually everything's gone. And when everything's gone, in my belief system, we have to leave something that carries on. And I want to leave something that carries on tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. And I want to be that one civilization that gets to the apex of their being. And our civilization lasts forever, but I know it won't happen. So you plan for the worst and you hope for the best. And my planning for the worst is that we create these robots. We learned how to exist with them and use with them and be better because of them. And you know, it could be war. If we go to war with Russia right now, and let's say we send Spot out there with a bunch of fucking tank killers, and we drop all their tanks right off the bat. I mean, we fly an airplane over, kick the kick the damn spot dogs out the back. They drop down. Parachute comes out. They got laws on their back. They take all the Russian tanks out. Don't get me wrong. I feel bad. Sad loss of Russian life. Don't like it. But what do you think the Russians are going to do? One, they're going to bitch. Outside of that, it's not fair. La la la. Their next step is they're moving their robots in. If they don't have them now, they're building them. The next war after that, do you think it's going to be fought by people, or do you think it's going to be fought by robots? I think it's going to be fought by robots. It's going to be my robot against your robot, because you're not going to send a human out there if you know I'm fisting to send a robot that you can't kill as easy. That's the progression. That's where we're going. That's what this whole podcast is about. That's what I'm getting to, and I got to it. Are you paying attention? This is a step, and the next step, and the next step, and the step after that, you're going to see a bunch of robots out there fighting each other. So when we get there, be ready for it, because you heard it here on Hays Division. Clyde Hays, thank y'all for listening. Y'all stay tuned. Like I told you, episodes every 2 weeks. I love y'all. Out.